Good morning and afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the Lotro Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Lotro stream. I'm just realizing that I'm not on Mary today. I'm over on Peregrine. So I'm going to update that at the top of my screen there. So welcome. I see that we got some chat going already. So Saren is in trying out a variety of characters. So that's exciting. A Bjorning and so maybe made a lore master, and a hobbit minstrel and a dwarf guard, and you're just like all trying a little bit of everything, which I think is a great idea. And good morning to Edine Dev. Welcome to the stream also. So I've got both cats are here at the moment. We'll see what happens. So we have two cats here in the house, and I was laying down on the couch earlier, and they were very happy to be joining me. And then I got up, and Casper said, "Oh, cool, the whole couch is mine." I'm like, "No, I'm coming back." So I've been scooching my way closer and closer because he had this whole space. So I was sitting over here, and I thought, that's not ideal for the stream. So trying to reclaim my place on the couch. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Glad to have you here. All right, so let's take a look. Oh, yeah, I was going to go ahead and do a cough drop because I woke up with a sore throat. Oh, that was another one. This morning I was supposed to go somewhere, and I just kept, my brain said, nope. I was like, well, what about? And my brain said, nope. I said, well, how about if I, and my brain said, nope. So I did not go this morning. And one of the nopes was that I had a sore throat, and I was not happy about it. I was grumpy this morning. That's really what that's also that. I didn't sleep well. So, all right, but I've got plenty of sleep now, so we should be able to do some fun questing. Thankfully, I'm not running around, but my Hobbit is. So here's what I've been doing for the Harvest Festival. So the Harvest Festival, well, let me pop in here and show you what we got going on. So you've got a primary quest giver, which is Rosa Hornblower here. And she is located here, but she's also over in Westmead, but we're going to talk to her here. So she has for me a quest called A Spirited Harvest. And this is the one where she's like, hey, go and do 10 festival activities and come back to me, and I will give you some tokens for the festival, and I will also give you some legendary item experience. So I've got that from her. Now, before we go running off and doing some quests, I have been doing the festival already for quite a while. I've got my little marks on my paper. That's my high-tech way of keeping track of where am I with what characters and what are they doing. So what I love about the festivals is a number of things. First of all, if you are looking to level up a character, every one of the every one of the quests that you're doing is going to give you, oh, hey, I got my spot back. Every one of these quests is going to give you some experience. And so it's a great way to level up your characters pretty quickly, really, throughout the festival. Like, I had a character that was like, on the last festival, she was like level 7 when I started, and she was like level 15 or something like that by the time I finished. I don't even know if I kept going with her the whole time, even. Another thing that you can get is if you're doing the festival with characters that have already got their legendary items and therefore are earning legendary item experience, then the quests at the festival will also give you legendary item experience, which is great for people like me working on this legendary item reward track where there's goodies specifically in box number 25, number 50, number 75, and 100. So right now I have made it on this server past 50, so I'm going to be able to get that Harvest Bounty housing bundle, so that's exciting. I'm glad for that. And I have made it all the way to, because we've been questing a lot here too, 73. That's a lot further than I was previously. Super thanks to B4 for that, because he's really good at getting us moving around on Peregrine. So this is Peregrine that we're on, one of the two RP encouraged servers. Now you can play on Peregrine and Mary even if you're not playing as a role-playing character, but you are It's RP encouraged, which means those of us who do want to partake more in the RP or want to be around people who are more RP focused, it's a great place for us. Okay, so I'm working on this. And so what I decided to do is I've got 2 characters on Mary and 2 characters here on Pippin, and they're both working on just getting through festival, all 12 days, because there are wrappers. So I'll walk through that real quick, because I saw that Saren, you said that you are not good at festivals. So I'm going to be walking through the festival today, and I can take it a little slow just to point out how to do these various things, if that's something that is of interest to you. I also do have some videos that I put together before, and I put together a couple years ago. Do you have that link to... Actually, it's on the lotro.com page also, but I think Before's going to try and grab it. It should be at the bottom of the lotro.com page also, if that's faster. Because when you get started with this particular festival, there's a quest you have to do first to open up the Haunted Burrow, which is this fun little place over here. There's a... Let me get closer. There's that burrow hole that goes into the side of that cliff, and it is only open during the festival. In order to get access to that, there is a little quest you have to do where you got to go up and talk to Lobelia. Sorry, you got to talk to Lobelia. But then eventually it allows you access to it, because she basically is like, ew, this is gross. Do whatever you want. There's no treasure here. So when I upload this video to YouTube, I will also make sure to include the link. I'll put that YouTube link in my YouTube description. I think they let me do that. So if you want to go and check that out later, you've got that. So there's a video on how to get access to the Haunted Burrow, and then there's a video I believe that we did going over the various quests that you can do. So so that should help kind of get you going if it's something that you're interested in learning more about. Let's see. I know there are some questions. Let's see, are servers still segregated, or can you group with people on different servers? And Snafuto, thank you, responded that we are still segregated. We cannot, there's no cross-server connection at this point. I know that was something they were talking about, and this is a little while ago. I'm guessing the tech hasn't come together for it yet. But being on the 64-bit servers may be one of the things that allows us in the future. But they were talking about there would be some way that you basically would go from your existing server temporarily to a server, and you would be there together, like doing dungeons or something, and then you would go back to your original server after that was done. So anyway, I think they're looking at, or they were looking at, some possibilities for cross-server play, but at this point, I haven't heard them say anything about that for a while. So, let's see, Saren was saying they love my Hobbit UI theme. And yeah, that is because I am using one of the JRR Skins collections. It's not technically a plugin, and I know you say you don't know how to use plugins after 20 years. Not a problem, but this technically isn't a plugin, but it is over on the lotrointerface.com page. And then there's more information there. If it's something you ever want to get into, Before streams right after me on Tuesdays, and he can help walk you through how to install things like this during his stream. So if you're still a little bit like, wait, where am I going? What am I doing? You can follow along at home. So obviously not now, because like you say, you're in bed on your mobile and not on not playing in the game at the moment. Okay, so one of the other things I was going to point out here is so I have basically 3 different quests from Rosa. So I've got this Spirited Harvest that I just picked up from her, and I pick this up every day. So every day she's like, hey, go do 10 things, come back to me, and I'll give you some reward for that, which is the experience and the festival tokens. Now, from doing this Spirited Harvest, that counts toward this other quest called a bountiful harvest. And there was like a bountiful harvest beginning, and then there's kind of like intermediate, and then advanced, and then final. So there's four levels of this bountiful harvest. And so to complete each one, you have to do the daily 3 times. So do the daily 3 times, you finish the first one. Do it again, finish the second one, do it again, finish the third one, and do it again a final 3 times, and you finish the last one. And that's where I'm at. So I have done the festival 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 days. This will be day number 12 for these characters. When you complete a bountiful harvest, that completes for you the Fortune of Harvest Spirit, excuse me, which also gives you a variety of goodies. So the Bountiful Harvest, when I finish that today, I'm going to get legendary item experience. Hi. Like in addition to the stuff I get just from the basic 10, I'm going to get some Figments of Splendor, which is why I use... You can't eat my oranges. I don't think he wants to, but I'm not letting him lick them. So this is one of the reasons why I like having the plug-in at the top. I use Titan Bar, and I track my Motes of Enchantment, my Embers of Enchantment, and my Figments of Splendor, because they do have a hard cap of 10,000, and if you hit that, you just hit that, and that's where you're at. Yeah, babe. You stand on my keyboard. Would you like to come lay down next to me? There are many places you may choose from. I stole his spot, which was mine before, though. So technically I stole my spot back. Anyway, so we're going to get a bunch of good stuff. Skikosi says, good evening. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. So we're doing some festival here. And getting some cat attention, of course, too. Yes. Casper is wandering. As I was getting ready to stream, Casper and I had been laying on the couch, and I got up, and so he took the good spot, which was where I was coming back to sit. So I have been slowly scooching back to my spot, and then he got up. But now he's come back. He's like, but I was sleeping here. the poor life of the cat can't sleep everywhere. Have to pick his spots. Let's see. So yeah, okay. So then I'm gonna get some Figments of Splendor and some other stuff, and then this is the thing that most people who are doing festival, this is a really good thing to get. Because what you get if you finish this Bountiful Harvest, the final, we're going to get that legendary item experience. We're going to get a tracery token that is legendary. That is the gold, and it is not set to a specific level. So this is a gold tracery token that you can use in Rivendell to get a gold item for your legendary item. Why am I not carrying any legendaries on this character? Oh, okay. One of the things that happened in all of the transitions and everything, when we went from the old legendaries to the new, I scrapped a lot of the old ones and got the LI benefits, but I did not necessarily replace them on all my characters. Let me just double check and make sure she doesn't have... But it's possible I don't have legendary items on this character at the moment. I just kind of forgot. Nope, I did not get them and put them in a vault. Okay, no worries. I was going to just show you a legendary item, but I will not with this character. But basically, there's 4 tiers of traceries that you can put on your legendary items. And let's see, yellow's the worst. And then purple is the second worst. And then, but it's the purple's the best of the ones that you can get without a token. And then blue is second to best. But you do have to have the blue token to get that. I think it's like a shattered. No, cracked. There's shattered and there's cracked. I forget which one. One of them's higher, one of them's lower. And then there's the gold one. And the gold token with some the currency the ancient script. You use the gold token plus the ancient script, and that's where you can get the best traceries. Those are the ones that you want for your legendary items. So this doing festival is a way to get those. And the fact that it's not set to a specific level is super awesome, because that means whatever character you're working on as your main can use that, which is awesome, because maybe your main is 115, maybe your main is 150. I mean, like, you've got options there. Yes, Kagosi Casper's like, that was my spot. I know, he's still a little indignant. He's just sitting there. He's not even laying down yet. Snafuto is asking, is there anything available as rewards this year for fall festival tokens that will not be available at all, or only for Mithril, and is there a way to tell? That's a great question. So let's take a look. Not only is Rosa Hornblower our quest giver, but she's also our rewards vendor. I tell you what, this area is a little active. Let's go somewhere a little quieter. I think Kato's got the same idea. She's sitting on the arm of the couch, and she just keeps flopping back and forth. She keeps like, stand up, turn the other way, stand up, turn the other way. Oh, I'm taking a pony to Wistmead, because Wistmead is this other area, and actually I like Wistmead a lot. So you come in and you're on this road, and I'm just going to follow this road. So I apologize. I'm not necessarily going as slowly as I said I would. So hopefully this isn't too hard to follow along, which you can always go back, especially once I post on YouTube, and just slow it down and pause and stuff like that. So here at Wistmead, we've got kind of like a center area where there's a lot going on. And then a pony that takes us back to the party tree. The maze is over there. And then there's a tent over there with a couple of folks. There's some foresty stuff. That's where we came in. Bingo's hanging out over there. More foresty stuff. There's I can't quite see it from here, but there's like a little mini graveyard there. There's a pond or some sort of water over in that direction. There's some trash there that you investigate as part of the bingo quest if you do that. And then there's a road that leads there that takes you around behind the... oh, sorry. That's not that road. There's a road over here that takes you around behind the maze. And so if you come out of the maze, that's one of the ways you can come out. The other way you can come out if you're coming out of the maze, because the maze drops you out at the back, is you can come around. There's a road right over here. So we're here in the center, though. And I am going to... Gosh, it's busy here, too. Well, not quite as busy as the other place. So under this collection of people is Rosa Hornblower. So we're going to talk to her. She's not only our quest giver, but she is also our reward vendor. And I don't know if you can see, but this says 12. So there are 12 pages. But a couple of festivals ago, they introduced this really nice feature where when you're filtering it, it used to be like page 1, page 2, and so forth. And or by category. So like all the dies, and so forth. But now they also have a category called new items. So it's all the things that are brand new for this year. So I love that. So a lot of times what happens is the rewards that are available this year, then next year they end up piled into whatever category they are. So for example, there's often a mount, not every year, but often there's a new mount for the festival. In this case, the new mount is a hobby broom. So it's like the hobby horse, but it's a broom. So you're like on the ground running around on this broom. It's kind of funny. So that is our mount for this year, for example. And each year they do sell it for both festival tokens and mithril coins in case you want to just buy it for mithril. I don't know why you would, but maybe you do. So let's look at just the mounts. Oh, steeds. Sorry, they're called Fall Festival Steeds. So the way they've been running it that I've noticed is the previous year's festival steed will still be on the list for festival tokens. So you'll have this year and you'll have last year pretty much always available for festival tokens. And then depending on the festival, they start to drop off and become available for mithril only. Now, it looks like they have got the last they've got 3 years of of um, of mounts available for festival tokens right now. So we've got the Hobby Broom, we've got last year's Elk of the Forest Spirit. I think that was last year. And then the previous year's Steed of the Autumn Sage. So my expectation is that next year, Autumn Sage will drop off and will be available for mithril only. And the Forest Spirit and the Hobby Broom will still be available for festival tokens, plus whatever the new one is. Now, if they don't do a new one, then this will probably stay static. I don't think they'll proactively move something off of the list without putting something else on the list. So you can't tell for sure, Snefuto, but you can kind of, just based on what they tend to do, that's probably what they will do again. So that's the first thing I would look at is the mounts, because the mounts do, like I said, they're available for festival tokens for a couple of years and then they drop off to mithril coins only. So that's where you can see, like, they've got 2 pages now of the mounts that you can get for for mithril coins, which is quite a lot. Like, that also includes the War Steed options. So if you're like, oh, I really love the look of the Gloaming Autumn and I really want that on my War Steed, they've got that available for mithril. Right now, let's go back and take a look here on our steeds. Looks like the Autumn Sage, you can get looks of that cosmetics for your War Steed for festival tokens right now. But then I would expect most likely those will drop to mithril coins only next year. The other thing that is available for mithril or festival tokens is the dies. Now, I don't know why they put all the dwarf candles in here too instead of giving them their own category, but just ignore the bottom stuff. And we're really just looking at the top 4. What they have been doing for the festivals, and I do like this, is each festival has 4 dies available. 2 of them are available for mithril coins, and the other 2 are available for festival tokens. So this year, we've got our Autumn Leaf and Twilight Purple for festival tokens, and then Ashen Glades Green and Imladris Fallen Leaf are for mithril. Next year, it'll swap. So next year, Autumn Leaf and Twilight Purple will be mithril, and Ashen Glades Green and the Imladris Fallen Leaf will be for festival tokens. So what I will try to do then is make sure I stock up on the one that's available for festival tokens, so I have enough to last me through 2 years. And then I just every year make sure I, get the festival token one and stock up. And actually, since we're here, let's take a look. Because I haven't been doing my shopping yet. So why not do that now? All right. So my main die carry-all is in here. Hurrah. Okay, so we want to look at our Autumn Leaf. So I'm going to open that up and we're going to do a search for leaf. Autumn Leaf dies. I have 54 at the moment. I have been stocking up if you weren't aware. So we're probably good, although, as Rose Tyler is pointing out here in the chat, the special dies sell for quite a bit on the auction house as well, if you want extra gold, or if you just want to help a hobbit out, So we'll go ahead and grab another. I mean, I've been grinding through the festival, so I've got plenty of tokens. So we'll just go ahead and bump that up a little bit. Okay, and then for our Twilight Purple, looks like I've used a couple of those, so we'll go ahead and bump that up into the 70s also. Not that I need that many, but, hey, it's only available for, festival tokens every other year, so let's stock up. Okay, so that's the things that I would look at, Snefuto, for what's going to be available for festival tokens now, and not later, would be the festival steed that's about to drop off next year, and then the die that's available this year for tokens, that will be next year only for Mithril. I think everything else is pretty much festival. Here, let's just actually go to the all, because let me close my inventory. Yeah, so we've got the broom. We've got, oh, there is a pet called the pumpkin horn. You can buy that for tokens, or you could buy that for Mithril, but I don't think that they plan to drop that. If you have a house out in Lindleby, and I wonder if the elven houses will have this too, but there's fences as a hook. And so for this festival, we've got a webbed thorny hedge and a wild webbed hedge. You know what? I don't think I got those, so let's just go ahead and pick those up. I guess it wouldn't be a shame to go ahead and get the music too while I'm here. I got plenty of tokens. So this is all new stuff for this year, so that's kind of fun. Hey, Kato, you gonna come lay down, babe? She's thinking about it. She's got to step over my my cord. My lavalier cord. All right. Nope, she's just gonna go and sit on next to my mouse. Let's see. And then we've got these. We've got the horn that we saw. Yeah, like the ghostly cat for regular and tokens, mithril. And then the dies, we already talked about that. Just checking here if there's anything else that's available for mithril. The mounts, we talked about that. And then we're back to cosmetics. So here you can see the cosmetics from previous years. So like, I think this is last year. Forest Spirit, that was like 2 years ago. Autumn Sage, that was a good one. That was so flexible. Babe, don't get mad at me when you come and sit on my stuff. Cat being silly. The Autumn Traveler, that was a nice set. It's got a nice cape you can get to. The Autumn Wanderer is so much fun to play with. It like dies up so good. Like, you know, you can just play around with those dies so much. Let's see. And then, yeah, so these are all previous year's stuff, and they just hang around. So you've got lots of good options there to choose from. Still seeing lots of stuff, though. It's all for tokens, for festival tokens. Here's the back stuff. So, like the Autumn Traveler, I like the leaves at the bottom and how it splits there. The Autumn Sage, that was a good one. Oh, and then you could get like the little wings. So you've got your like little raven wings, or you could do with bee wings. So cute. Yep, still festival tokens. Dun, dun, dun. And then now we're getting to the carryables. So this year we've got like a Harvest Math cauldron that you can carry around. Cute, huh? Got a little green liquid going on in there. Got a beer stein. No, that's from previous years. Basket of apples. The gourd. So funny carrying the gourd. It's like your hand's stuck in the middle of it. It's so weird. The pretzel, which is one of my go-tos. Love the pretzel. And then we're getting into some housing items. So a cauldron, small potion table. Oh gosh, you know what? I haven't bought any of these things. I haven't really been doing a lot with the housing here on Peregrine, actually. I've been focusing most of my housing over on what was Laurelin, which is now, for me, Mariatic. So I'm keeping housing stuff here, but I'm not engaging with it too much. So I don't feel like I need to grab much of this stuff right now. But I have the potions table, and now they have a small version. And I'm quite curious about that. So I probably should pick that up pretty soon over on Pippin. Or on Mary, I mean. Oh, the cushion on a cat, or cat on a cushion. Those are from a previous year. Those are good. Sleeping brown cat. Oh, this is where you get that. That one's lovely. They get up and walk around, and then they lay back down. The autumnal apple tree, so you can, like, kind of change your house through the seasons, which is, I like that. So some good housing items there. The painting of a watchful goblin, the painting of a watchful warg, those are things you can get in the haunted burrow out of the chests. But if you want more, you can buy them for festival tokens. And then we've got those things that you can toss on people, and they if you need more of them, because you do get a couple out of the chest sometimes in the haunted burrow, but if you need more, because they do, some of them are towards deeds, and if you finish doing however many of it, like 300 or 150 or something, then you get a permanent skill. And then there's also an emote, Boo, which is cute. I guess I have it on this character already. Well, look at you. Oh, and the bassoon, the Lonely Mountain bassoon. You can pick that up at this festival also. So all of that's festival tokens. So I think that covers everything you've got there that you were looking for, Snefuto. So Rose Tyler says, I bought all the cosmetic cats. I have about 5 different ones in my house. Young cat lady. Awesome. I too have procured many cats from my house, both in-game and IRL. We have 2 in our house at the moment. And yeah, they keep wandering through. They really would like me to be quiet and just so they could lay down and go to sleep, but it's not happening yet, babe. You can come and lay down, you know. He's just sitting there. Goof. Okay, so now that we've done a little bit of looking at the shopping, and we have our daily quest, we're going to go ahead and pick up some quests here. So what I like to do, because I like coming to Wistmead, but I also like not having to think. So there's 4 quests that I do here, and then I go back to the Haunted Burrow and I do 6 there. So I'll show you what I pick up here. So Hallinard Bunce here, he's got 2 quests all on his own. One is an Eerie Fog, where he's been making a brew called Fog Noggin, and he wants you to sample it and tell him if he's got it right. And then the other one is, it says, the goblins have returned to Wistmead. Can you take this club and send them flying out of the Shire? Which are basically little green gourds that have been painted and to look like goblins, and you smack them and they go flying. Okay, so first off, we have to get a drink of this Fog Noggin ale, so we're going to do that. So we're having a drink, and now we have an effect. Now, I have turned off the drunk effects, the post-processing effects on my screen, because I don't feel like that makes a great streaming experience for you guys to see. Plus, this way I can actually see what I'm doing. But because I had that drink, now I have to try to shake off the effects of this Fog Noggin ale. And I have to find 6 different ways in which to shake off the effects, which basically comes down to being scared. So, see this bat over here flying with a ring? If I go by him, it says, what sort of vile illusion is this? Sudden terror grips you and you feel more alert. So that's one of the 5 or 6 ways to shake it off. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab the other 2 quests while I'm over here. So we've got Iris. She wants me to go find some black cats. There's let's see. She's going to send the black cats back over to Bree to the cat house, but they've kind of wandered off. There's a couple of them here by her feet, and the rest of them have kind of wandered off around the place, and she wants us to go find them. And then Walric Goldworthy, and he's the guy who like cleared this all out and made this happen. But he says that it's horrible because he's been beset by complaints and he saw a hobbit sleeping. He's like, what have I done wrong that I want to, and he's like, I want to help these hobbits to get in the spirit. So can you go and show them what spooky fun can be had in Wistmead? So we have to go help hobbits get in the spirit of it. All right, so here's a spider on the ground. So if we go run over by the spider, we find out, oh, it's just an illusion, but it's like, what vile illusion is this? Sudden terror grips your heart and you feel more awake. So that's another one of my things. Okay, so what I tend to do actually is I start over here with Walric and Iris and pick up their quests, and then I go over to Halinard and I pick up his 2 quests. And then by the time I get here, just past him, here is a spiritless hobbit who's sleeping. So we go, boo! And he's like, oh, so that's how it's going to be. I'll not be left out of the fun. Like, cool. And then we have a steaming stein of potentially coffee. So we're going to drink some of that. Dance Lover says, good afternoon. When is the last day of the festival? I believe it's like the 3rd or so. Let's see. If I go online and I just look up Lotro Festival, or Lotro schedule, I mean, the 2025 public event schedule is what you're looking for. It's the first thing that comes up for me because I look for it often enough. Harvest Math Festival goes through the 3rd of November at 3 a.m., which means your last full day is November 2nd, which would be 1, 2. So Sunday, a week from Sunday, right? Because what is today? Today's the 21st. I have a Lord of the Rings calendar here. Hang on. So that's today. So a week. Yeah, like just under 2 weeks. It looks like. Oh, no, because I was going to say they extended it. No, they didn't extend this. They extended the legendary item reward track, though. Anyway, so I drank the not coffee, and but I feel more awake. And there's a spiritless hobbit again, so I'm going to click on him. And then there's a stomped shrew there, so I'm going to go past him, and again I get that, what have so many careless boots wrought? Sudden terror grips you, and you feel more alert. And then right after that stomped shrew, sitting here on the ground, is this goblin gourd. So it's a green pumpkin, or maybe it's a pumpkin painted green. And it's got like little cork for a nose, and then somebody stuck leaves in it to make funky ears, right? So you click on it, and you can't tab around, you just have to click on it. And then in your inventory is one of those clubs, and so you click on the club, and then it throws the gourd off into the distance. So again, here's another one. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click that, and boom, it off goes flying. Now, there's a spiritless hobbit here, so I will scare her, wake her up. Hello. Oh, right. Snafuto says, thanks for answering my question. I'll have to rewatch this on YouTube to hear what you said. I try to watch when I'm at work, but it doesn't often work out like today. Yeah, I understand. Well, I will have the video up over on YouTube at the end, so no worries. All right, so this goblin gourd came back, but we're going to skip that for a minute. Okay, so there's a bat, but I've already seen a bat. I'm going to go over here. There's a stomped shrew, but we've already seen a stomped shrew. Usually there's a spiritless hobbit here, so we can say boo to him while we're on the mount, though I don't have to get down. Koviet says, hi streamer and chat. Well, welcome. And then I've got a goblin gourd here. So, I'll just go ahead and hop down and get it. So, again, we've got to click on it, and then I can get up close and click my little thing, and that boots it away. And we'll go surprise this spiritless hobbit. Wakey, wakey. Gosh, it's me. Has the fog noggin gone to my head? Now, here's a nice little trio over here by this graveyard. So we've got our spiritless hobbit, so we're going to surprise her. And if I come around here, so you can see that it's a little graveyard, and it's got the archway and stuff. There's a black cat who is often sleeping here, so we can pick them up there. And then the ghost of Old Took. It says, could it be the ghost of the Old Took? Which is from that quest that you do in the Shire. So this black cat does reappear regularly. So people who are searching for black cats, because you got to find 4, will often come and try to grab this one. So there's hot competition for that one usually. But let me show you where there's a couple other things. So from Mount up, little girl. So from this graveyard, if we look over here, there's this kind of opening, and that will take us towards some water. And there's a black cat often hanging out right here. So we can grab that black cat. We've got a spiritless hobbit, but we've already kind of like taken care of that quest. However, this pond, I don't know if a river is off to the side or what, but notice how the water is kind of funky. But if you go into it, it says the cold, murky water of the bog seems to help. So it's helping get rid of those fog noggin effects. Now, when you come out of there, so we've got the graveyards right over there, but there's a patch of kind of shorter trees in here. And you'll notice on my mini radar, there is a ring in there, which I've just clicked on the mini radar. So if I kind of roll in here, I find out that, oh, hey, it's a black cat. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up that black cat. So those are two places that people will tend to look for cats, but it's still, they respawn pretty quickly. So one there and one in here and one there. I'll tell you one other secret place that I go to get cats. So if I go this direction, there's usually like a, what is it? Not a, there's a scary thing on the ground that helps with my fog noggin. And then if you go into the trees over here, there's a little clearing and there's often a cat in this area. There it is. So somebody will probably be coming along for that shortly. So that's not too far from the graveyard space there. So a lot of times I'll go in there and grab a cat. And then if I still need spiritless hobbits, there's one there. And by this point, I probably just need gourds. And so I just kind of do a little gourd walk along the gourd walk. So there's one there. We'll go ahead and knock that one by bingo. You'll find them on these, also on these stone fences. So there's one there. I think there's one on the ground sometimes. I can't remember. There is one here at this corner. So that person's getting that one. And then as I'm going back towards my two quest givers, there's actually two. So if you're at 4 and you still need 2, you can get 5 and 6 right along here if you need to, which is kind of handy. So I'll go ahead and get my last one. Cool, which says, I learned 2 new ways to remove the fog noggin effect. This game surprises me even after 18 years. That's awesome. So let me talk to Iris and give her the cats. And let me talk to Walrick and let him know I scared some hobbits. Now, if you're doing the maze, the maze quest giver is right here. And each day, the maze has 2 things you can do for going through the maze. One is challenging wheat, where you've got to go through the maze using the challenge version. And let me see, harvest math. Let me pull up challenging wheat. And I don't actually know which maze it is. We'll just we'll just pretend that it's this one. I am really not good at identifying the maze from standing there. I get it wrong every time. But let's pretend today was one. So for the challenge, you would need to follow this route all the way through the maze and out the back. For the cheaty version, you'll notice that there's like these little gaps in the wall. So for the cheaty version, you can go through the gaps. So in this case, it might be, the fastest way might be go through here, come up through here, cheat, maybe go back over here, come through here, cheat, and out. And so the map will have that also, cheat of the wheat. Yeah, so it shows us here the fastest route to do the cheaty version is to go out this way. So you pick up those quests from her. You have to do the challenging one first, and then she'll let you do the cheaty version. There's 2 other quests with her, and that is gathering gourds, which is you run around and pick up pumpkins, and then preventing a murder, which is you go and you shoo birds away. So if you want to hang out in the maze, you totally can, and there's definitely some quests there for her. I don't know the maze well enough. I know the spring maze, but I don't know this maze because it changes. There's 5 versions of the maze and it changes to the next one each day. And so I don't do the maze except if I'm trying to because there's a deed if if you do all of those, all 10 of those, the 5 regular and the 5 cheaty versions. So I haven't actually memorized the maze. I don't have it yet. Maybe in the future, but for now, I don't. Yeah, now and before did a lot of work on this. This is Harvest Buddy 2, sorry, Festival Buddy 2, and in the Harvest Math and on a lot of these, he's gone and done a lot of work to add in a bunch of stuff, including these maps that I was just pulling up. And so B4 points out in the chat that the map also responds to you could do /LOC and it shows you where you are and which way you're facing in the maze. So it's just a snapshot. You're in there, you hit LOC and it shows you, oh, okay, here you are, whatever. So yeah, but like Pomela says, and by the way, hi. Pomela says, I always get so lost in that maze. There's only one that I can solve. Yeah, I did get to the point where there was one of them that I was good at, but I don't remember which one it was anymore. Yeah, Cole Witch says, same for me, Pamela. I only go into the maze to grab gourds and scare away crows. Oh, good. B4 says, I can go walk through setting it up and using it on my stream if that's useful to people. I think that would be. I think that's a great idea. You should totally do that. Hey, speaking of the Fog Noggin Ale, another way to get rid of it is there's this pie, and you can, I think you come over and smell it or take a bite or something like that, and that also helps with the Fog Noggin. There's also a one of the stomp shrews up here, so if you haven't done a shrew, that will count. And then other people will probably let you know that push-ups does it, and slap also are 2 more ways to work on the Fog Noggin Ale. But I generally don't have to do either of those. I know some people, like, first thing I see them do, they pick it up and they start doing push-ups. You don't have to. Like, I mean, you can. Why not? Like, if that's me, if that's your jam, go for it. But I do the other things, and by the time I'm done, I've had everything anyway. So, yes, Kokosi, those mazes are confusing. I feel like they're confusing. There you go. You've got many votes for that, honey. So awesome. So yes, for those of you who aren't aware, I stream for about 2 hours. So we're about 1 hour in. So in about an hour, B4 will be streaming right after me and doing his stream, plugging along. But he is going to, do some festival interactivity. So that's awesome. All right. So I'm going to turn in these 2 quests to Halinard here. So yeah. So you come back, you tell him about the Fog Dog, and he's like, not my best, huh? I heard so much about it. Now I'm a bit hesitant to try it myself. And he's like, well, I'll brew up a new batch. And then the gourds and goblins. So he's like, okay, we'll get more gourds carved soon enough. I prefer these to the actual goblins, indeed. So that's 4 quests for this area. And honestly, I can run through those pretty quick because I just make a circle. I basically, I come, let me focus here. I come rolling in from that side because that's where you enter. And I go straight over to those 2, grab their quests, come over to Halinard, grab his 2 quests, get started there, move my way over towards where the maze comes out, and then I hop over, grab some stuff, check in with these guys, check in with these guys, check in with these guys, work my way over to where the water and the mini graveyard are, pop in there for a cat if I need to. There is actually another cat back behind that rundown looking stuff in the trees. There's some more scrub back there, and there's another cat back there sometimes. And there's another secret place, but I'm not going to tell you where that is right now. And then, yeah, so by the time actually I've come out here, I'm usually pretty good. I just need a couple of gourds. So I just roll through my little gourd walk and turn in my stuff, and then I'm good to go. So then I come back over, turn into those 2, turn those 2 into him, and then take the pony back to the party tree. So that's my kind of quick for in Westmead. And I like Westmead. It's just, I don't know, there's the atmosphere is kind of fun. It's like, it's spooky, but it's not scary. Yeah, so I like that. Plus, one of the things I'll do when I first am running the festival, like in the early days of the festival, is Bingo is right over here. And he has one set of quests that take place out here by the party tree. And then he has a whole different set of quests that take place in Westmead, in and around Westmead. So I will often pick those up and get those started and do a couple of those each day, and that helps me get to my 10 faster. So I don't do it all in one day, because I like to kind of sprinkle them in to help me, just add to it. The other thing too is partway through the stuff with him, he wants you to go talk to, was it Donatella took over in the library down in the Smiles. So that means taking you away from this area. And then also, he wants you to go talk to Will Whitfoot over in Mickle Delving, which again takes you far away from here. So I kind of, sprinkle those in when it makes sense. Hi, what's up, buddy? You seem startled. His eyes are big. Well, hi. Casper says hi. Well, not really. He's just walking through. Casper says, this is my space. He's just coming and going. Yeah, Palmella says Westmead has immaculate vibes. It's so good, right? Yeah, Westmead is fantastic. Sorry, I'm playing with my blankets here, thinking like maybe the cats will come if I have the cat vibes on my couch. Maybe they'll come back and settle. We'll see. We shall see. Okay. I think that's a little bit better, though. Okay, so I still have 6 more to go, though. I'm at 4 out of my 10. Now, on the days when, for Bingo, I got to go south and to the Smiles to the library, a lot of times what I'll do is I will actually pick up the quest from this guy. He gives you legendary item experience and then fall festival tokens like most of them do, or you could choose to get a mask token, which I'm not interested in. But he then sends you up there and then 2 folks down that direction and then 1 kind of a little further on. And so by that point, you're already over halfway to the library. So I'm like, I'll just go ahead and do that. So, but I don't tend to do that unless I'm, wanting to run around. Because at this point, I'm going to focus most of my time here at the Haunted Burrow. Because if I can just go in, do the thing, and come out, that's going to be pretty fast. Now, one thing I have been working on with, again, remember I said I'm doing 2 characters here on Peregrine and 2 characters over on Mary. You are just squirrely at the moment. Yes, Casper, are you still in my spot? Yes, I am. I think somebody needs the litter box or just did use the litter box. One of the 2. Or both. You're going to lay down right there? Hi, honey. He's so funny. What a silly guy. Yes, Casper is letting me know that I am still in his spot. By golly. Like, seriously, y'all, I almost did the whole stream from over here because, he was here. And I'm like, I'm not going to move him. So, anyway, okay. So, what I'm working on, one of the things I worked on for this festival, because I'm finally just kind of settling in to Peregrine and Meriadoc, right? So, I'm just kind of like, my houses aren't fully decorated, but they're getting there. My characters aren't fully sorted, but we're getting there. Like, we're starting to get settled in, the dishes are getting put away, etc. So what I did for this festival is I have chosen 2 characters on each of the two servers that are my festival characters. And so Zona Bloom used to be an Adamantia, but I had like 4 Adamantias on here. So she got a new name, and I was like, well, one of the festivals, there's that whole thing about the sunflowers. So I'm like, I'll just name her, Dutch for sunflower. So that's how she got her name. So she's my festival gal, one of my festival gals here. And one of the things you can do for this festival is the Ale Association has a quest and the Inn League has a quest. And a lot of the festivals, they will, at one of the hubs, will have a quest for one or the other, or in this case, both. So we're going to do those because those are quests that give me a lot of good stuff. It's going to give me, it's going to play around with my reputation with the Inn League and the Ale Association. That I don't worry about too much. But I am going to get legendary item experience, and I'm going to get a badge of dishonor. And the badges of dishonor and the badges of taste from the Inn League, you can use to buy boxes of festival tokens. So that's like super handy. And it just occurred to me that I should be using my Fateful Toolkit, but I think it's on the other server. So, but I'll try to remember to grab that when next time I'm on Mary. I should do that. So Dance Lover has a question. What can I spend Motes of Enchantment on if my highest character is level 55? So Motes of Enchantment, I don't know, man. That's not a great answer. So here's where I'm at with the Motes of Enchantment and all of those. I know like Motes of Enchantment and Embers of Enchantment are like end game thingy doodles. So you can buy some really good armor for characters using those things. And in fact, we have characters here actually that are our completionist mains. And we started them on Treebeard and now they're here on Peregrine. And so they just hit level 115, and at 115 there's some armor that you can get that's pretty good for having that light of Erendil that you need when you're running around in Mordor. And it's good armor in general. So we went and spent one of those two categories, I forget which, I think it might be Motes of Enchantment, it was one of those two, to buy the armor. And the armor pieces were like 2,500 each. So the fact that I had basically 10,000 was useful for that. But honestly, most of the time, I am more focused on festival, roleplay, cosmetics, mounts, those sorts of things. So I spend my Figments of Splendor to buy housing items and mounts for my main and stuff like that. So then when I get high on Embers of Enchantment and Motes of Enchantment, when they're close to cap, because it's 10,000 is your cap on those for the currency, I will often go and just convert them into Figments of Splendor, which I know people who are, endgame and all that are gasping, clutching at pearls and all that. But I don't have a lot of times when I'm needing to go and buy really good armor with those. So, yeah, I know it's not the advice you're probably looking for. Although at level 55, I don't know that you really need them. There's somebody in Moria that sells some good armor, but I don't think it was for Embers. Do you know who I'm talking about? Up like for the hunter, it's up on top of the stairs. Now, so B4 says Dance Lover, lower level, I mostly buy, just Figments of Splendor. Just do 1,000 for 1,000, just convert it over. Pamela, for RP on Peregrine, I'm not doing a lot of RP on Peregrine at the moment. My completionist main is here, that's Rosenbloom. And then before's got Affodil. Those two came over from Treebeard, and those are here on Peregrine. For Festival, I'm doing Zonobloom here and Liailel, which I keep wanting to change her name, but then I don't find anything better, so I just leave it. So if I finish with Zonobloom here, I will switch over to her, and you'll see her. Over on Mary, I'm using Cloudberry, my Bjorning, and one of my high elves, who I renamed to Marina, looks like Marina, but the idea is that it's Mary because it's a festival, so she's Mary. So I renamed her. as well, because she was a duplicate also. So those are my two over on Merit. Cloudberry and Marina are my festival goers. Oh yeah, and B4 points out that Filbert Fig and Rowan Raspberry and Myrtle Mint, which take turns, I think of them as cousins, and only one cousin's got time to be here at a time. You'll find them over at the Brie Fountain, the Boar Fountain, sorry, in Brie. Yes, and they would love to take your Embers of Enchantment from you. Okay, so I've picked up the quest from this guy, and he wants me to go and scare hobbits, play tricks on hobbits. So we're going to go do that. So I go into the Haunted Burrow. I guess I should point out, for those of you who don't do the Haunted Burrow on the regular, let me point out a few things. So this is the main floor that you walk into. And when you walk in, it's basically got two wings. You can go either to the left and then turn and go forward, or go to the right and turn and go forward. So you've got those two directions coming off from you, two kind of arms from where you're going to go. So that's what this is down here, and then this is down here. Over on the right side arm, we've got entrance to the next room. If you're going to go like in a circle from room to room to room, that entrance is over here. And if you continue further than that, you get into the attic, which is basically a in, and then you return right back out to the same place. If you take the left side, you go through kind of a spot where everything turns dark, but then you come out of it. And there's a quick entrance to the basement there, but you rarely will do that. Usually I'm doing a loop. But at this side, at the end, there's a Hobbit there you want to talk to if you're doing the Hobbits. And if you want to go and see, there's 3 chests that you can click on to get extra stuff. That's at the end of that room. So that's the basics of where we are here. So I'm actually going to take the right side route. So I'm going to turn and I'm going to go this way. On your route, you're going to find a lot of doors, and a lot of them are fake doors or don't take you anywhere, or you may need a certain quest in order to use that door. So I have, let's see, can I pop this map out? Oh, no, that's a Tanglecorn map. Okay, so this map doesn't pop out, right, honey? What? You can make the window bigger. Oh, that's true. Okay. So I could, yeah, okay. So I could go into the options and I can make this window bigger if I want to. Now I have all this memorized at this point. But if you ever are like, oh, where is that? Where does that go? All the maps are there. And I believe he based all of those off of other maps that have been out that are like on the Lotra Wiki and Fibro Jedi. There's some great maps there. But okay, so I've come out of here and there's these 2 routes. So there's a bookshelf here in front of me. So I'm going to just go through this bookshelf. Haha. Now, if I was going down to the cobweb wing, I would go that way, but I'm not yet. I want to go to the attic first. So I'm going to continue off to the right to the attic. So now we're in the attic, and it really is just a box. Like, there's nothing to it. You come in through this door, and you're going to go out through that door, and those, I think oh no, there's a door there, but that one's a fake one. So really, you're coming in, you're going out, and that's it. Everything else you need to do is pretty much on your route through here. So I need to go see this Hobbit, and I want to click on this bucket of tricks. I got hit by some bats here, hold on. And that's going to scare this little Hobbit. He goes, oh no, save me. All right, and so we walk out the room, and now we've actually just come right back out the door we went in. It's magic, don't ask. So now I actually do want to go to the cobweb wing. So I'm going to go straight forward into this door. Now you come in facing the wall, but I'm in here. It just happens to be that there are walls placed in here to force you to walk certain routes. So I got to turn and start going that way. The door that I came in is right there. So there's going to be a spider that's going to grab me there. That's just one of those things. There's a way to like jump up on the tables and miss it or something, but whatever. Okay, so now I've made it, like I've come out and I've kind of gone this way. There's a little alcove here. That's where the door to leave is. There's another alcove over here. That's where the Hobbit is that I'm looking for. So that's how I know I'm in the right area here. I'm just going to go all the way down to the end. And there's a Hobbit here. I'm going to click on that little bucket of tricks. And they'd be like, oh no, it's a cave-in. We're all going to die. But no, he'll be fine. So now I just want to go back to that little alcove that I pointed out before. And I want to go out that door. And again, we have, you know, false door and actual door. All right, so now I'm in the creeping wing. And most of the time, you're going to, because there's no hobbits here. So I'm pretty much likely to come in and just go straight out. And the door is right over here. There's a whole bunch of other things happening if you're doing other quests. But we're not doing those right now. So really, I come in, I'm going to angle off to my left, and there is a door here, and that's where I want to go. Now I'm in the basement. There's a lot going on in the basement. The basement looks like a big box, but really there are a lot of walls and barrels and other obstructions that pretty much guide you through here. And it makes it into kind of a serpentine sort of formation for this room. So if we pull up the Festival Buddy again, the basement is this one right here with the purple line running through it. So I've come in down here. Wait, no. Where did I come in? No, I've come in up here. And you can see there's all these lines, these gray lines running through here that are preventing me from just like walking straight to where I want to go. So there's a lot of little hidden rooms and various things in this space. Speaking of, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this, I'm going to open up this barrel rack, which is not a, it's a false wall. And inside here is a poorly hidden chest. This is one, so now I have an effect on my character. It says secret treasure chest. You have used the secret treasure chest recently. And now notice it says duration 1 day, and it's counting down. So I now have 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 49 seconds until I can click on it again with this character. Inside that chest could be a random assortment of things. But you're going to get things like those effects that you can throw on other people. You might get a housing item. In this case, I got the sign that says turn back. And I also got 3 festival tokens, fall festival tokens. You might get these trees, these haunted trees. But the big thing that's a really rare drop that you might get in there is a, what's it called? Like a scrap of aged paper, I think it's called. And if you click on that with that character, whatever character, it's bound to account. So I believe you can pass it to another one of your characters. So whichever one of your characters then like opens the paper, it starts a quest. And that quest will take you to, you get a pony at the end of that quest. So that's kind of cool. And it's painted to look like a skeleton. So that's kind of fun. So there's the door we came in from. And all we've done so far is looked at this poorly hidden chest. But I got to find some more hobbits to play tricks on. So I'm going to turn myself and go this way. Now I'm looking at a hallway there and an alcove here. I actually want to go into this alcove because that's where I'm going to find one of the hobbits. She's hiding over here in this little room with some potions and barrels and things. So if I click on this bucket of tricks, then she goes, ee, and a little squirrel jumped out. All right, so now I want to go back to this hallway that I just saw before when I came here, saw the barrels. Okay, so we're going to go straight forward, but now we've run into a wall. We have to make a decision. Well, I don't want to go there. I actually want to take the very first, like make a hard left here, hard U-turn. So I'm going to do that. Well, now I'm stuck again. But basically, this kind of like shunts you into more of like just think of like an S going on here. So, and you can see it, that bucket of tricks is on the other side of this wall from where I am. But I'm still serpentining my way around, and now I have found 2 doors, and it's the second door that you want. The first one just brings you right back to the beginning. So now I'm back to that main cellar floor that the very first floor I came in on. And I'm facing that way, which is convenient because that's a reminder to me that, hey, I do actually want to go over here, slip into this area, and there's a Hobbit here that I want to click on. And she goes, oh my, and she falls over. So now while I'm here, I'm going to grab something else. So if I go into this mystery door and pop in here, again, I've got, if you look at the map, it's just kind of like a little wiggle to get me in here. So I'm just going to follow the wiggle, follow the hallway. Don't go out that door at this time. But what I get when I come in here is there's a chest here, there's a chest there, and a chest there. They have different names. This one is the out of place chest. So we click on that and we got a Fall Festival token. Now we have an out of place lockbox. So we click on that and I got a Fall Festival token. And we have an out of place strong box. And that gave me a Fall Festival token. So that's what this little room is. And sometimes you'll see people like dressed up in a costume and just hanging out in the room. It's kind of fun. So just, let's see, some notes of courtesy. When you come into the room, if there are other people already here, kind of form a queue. And generally people will go 1 and then 2 and then 3. But if you get here and somebody is going for 1, well, you can just go ahead and skip right over to 3, grab that, and then get back behind them because by the time you get over here, 1 has respawned, and then they can grab 2, and so you just kind of follow each other around a little bit. But don't skip ahead of somebody is what I'm saying. Don't don't be a jerk, run in and grab it when somebody else is already standing there. Same with that one down in the basement. Sometimes you'll walk in and there'll be a couple people waiting because once it is used, you have to wait for it to respawn. So just, be nice. And if you see a line of people, just get in line. It doesn't take that long. You'll have your stuff fast. All right, so now let's go. We've come back out. We're back in the main cellar. And I have 2 more hobbits to find. And they are on this end of the world, of this floor. So I'm going to go back the way I came. So over that little thing that makes things dark. And now I have come around. So I came out of this door here. And I was facing this way. I went and did my things. So now I'm coming back from there. Well, I don't want to go there. And I don't want to go that other door. So my only other option is here anyway. So I'm going to follow this hallway, which is very much a parallel to the hallway we did at the very beginning, because it too has a bookshelf that is you have to click on to go through. Now we have this spot here, which is going to make everything dark. So if I get on the other side of it real quick, I want to click on this bucket of tricks to scare this hobbit. So there we go. And what happens is this scary guy comes out with a lantern. Oops, I got into the dark again, sorry. And scares her. She's like, eek, the ghost. All right, so now I want to continue going down the hall. And I'm going to go through this bookshelf. And then the last person I want to see is on the other side, is over here in this little area. And there's that scared hobbit waiting for his bucket of tricks. I believe you can actually click on this from the other side of the wall, but I always come over here anyway. Why not? So now we have some fake doors. Don't pay any attention to them. There's the turn back sign that I believe I have one of those in my inventory. Yeah. So you can rotate it usually. Don't know what she's doing. We're hearing noises. I feel like Kato's doing something, but I don't know what. Anyway, yeah, you can usually rotate them so you get them into like however you want them. There's also, let's see, is that another one around here? No, I don't see it. I'll keep an eye out. Let's see, that you can get from the In League, I believe. That I think you can get through the folks in the north. The Yondershire, I think they sell that now. Same with that one, I believe. Oh, there's the Warg. That's the the scary, no, not scary warg. It's got another name, but that one you can get out of the boxes, but you can also buy for festival tokens. You can't get these, I don't believe. Anyway, let's go out the door, and we'll go turn this in. So by doing that quest, it basically took us all the way through. Hi. Everywhere you could see in the burrow, in the haunted burrow. I think we pretty much touched every room. All right, so we're going to turn that in. Kabam. And then a lot of times I will either... Now, if I know I'm going to like step away for a minute or something, then I will come and do this one next because she wants me to go pick up some wine. So we'll just go ahead and do it though so I can show you. And Jubo says, hi all, hello. So this time I'm going to come in and instead of doing the right side, I'm doing the left side. So Young in the 80s says, greetings. Greetings to you as well. And then I'm going to start like I'm going to that old lady Hobbit. But then if I turn before I get there, there's some wine hiding in the corner here. So I'm going to grab that, have a little drink. And then I'm going to carry the wine. So now I am a Hobbit carrying a wine. So that's what I look like. I'm carrying some wine. Okay, so I've got to carry it out of the burrow. So I'm just going to follow the trail that I did. Go through the bookshelf and out the front door. Greetings from a cat owner to a cat owner. Awesome. Yes, we have two of them wandering around here. So you go back to her and then you click on her and finish that off. And she does basically the same thing as the other guy. We got our Ale Association and in-league reputations went up and went down. We got a, I think we got a, no festival coins, but we got some legendary item experience. And then we also got a badge of taste, which we can use over in Mickle Delving to buy boxes of festival tokens. Okay, so now I'm at 6. I have done 6 quests. So now it's like, okay, what are my other 4 going to be? I'm all done with bingo, so I can't grab any of those. Excuse me. So, I'm going to start with Holdfast Burrows over here because one thing I noticed is most festivals have somebody who grants virtue experience. And in this case, it's this guy. So if I do his quest and come back and turn it in, he's going to give me legendary item experience, which is why I'm using this character. He's going to give me fall festival tokens. Excellent. And some virtue experience, which sounds great to me. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take that. So basically his deal is he went and lost a bunch of stuff in the burrow, in the haunted burrow, and we got to go find it. Like he thought, oh, there's treasure. Everybody thinks there's treasure in here. And so he's like, there's got to be treasure in the bottom of this ookie barrel or, you know, in this jar of crawlies. Well, there was no treasure. And then he went and he lost his pocket watch. So we've grabbed his pocket watch out of there. Now we're going into the attic. So we're basically going to make that same loop that we did just a minute ago for those other hobbits. And what we're looking for, so there's bone piles all throughout this room. But the bone pile I want is over here where that hobbit just was. So I'm going to grab that. So, oh, Jubo says, love the bottom bar in Hobbit style. Thank you. I use the J.R.R. Skins collection, which is so good. I love it. So that can get you in the right direction. So, oh, Snafuto points out that the gourd kicking quest, or hitting quest in Westmead also grants virtue. Thank you. See, that's another reason to do it. Okay, so I'm out of the attic, and I just want to continue my path because I got to go search every room for this guy's stuff. So I'm in the cobwebbed room, get hit by the spider, as usual. Blah, blah, blah. So we go around. Now, again, that's our exit there, right? But we're not ready. And there's sticky cocoons all over this room. But the one that I want is actually, well, let me show you where it is. If I go through this door and I come to here, there's a spot over here you can go to, or there's a spot over here you can go to. This is the web that I'm looking for, the cocoon. He stuck his hand in there looking for treasure and lost something. But I don't actually come in here to do that. What I do, it's because I get hit by a spider if I do that. I stand on this table like a rambunctious little hobbit, and I target it through the wall. And then I still get poked by the spider, but I found the dude's missing glove, and I didn't have to go into that other room. Now I just come to the exit, and I'm out. Okay, so now we have barrels of mystery flesh. Why he thought there was treasure in the bottom of a barrel of mystery flesh, I don't know, but he did. And they are located throughout this place. Again, the one I want is over here. But if I go all the way over here, I get attacked by all these things and it slows me down. Not a fan. Okay, so I came in from there. And usually, if there's no hobbits I gotta talk to, you know, there's no hobbits in here, so I would just go out that door. But I gotta check that bucket. Well, I can do the same thing. I can actually approach it through the wall. Thank goodness. So, yeah. So we found his ring inside that bucket. So the only thing we're missing is his monocle. He lost his monocle somewhere. So we go out, and we're back in the basement. And now we're looking at these disgusting puddles on the ground. And in one of these disgusting puddles, we're going to find his monocle. So this is where we came and we started to kind of do that serpentine. But before we do that, we're going to pop into this little room and put our hand in this disgusting puddle, and we find his monocle. Crazy. Snafu just says, wait, where did you get that through the wall? You thought you tried all the walls for that, but I guess not. Well, okay, yeah, next time I pop down there, I'll show you where I had gone for that. Let's go turn this in. Hi. You smell like cat food. My goodness. They're not on camera, but I am being surrounded. As you can tell. Yeah, what's up, buddy? Cool. Thanks. I know, I'm still in your spot. We've got Kato actually on the desk, doing a bit of a sphinx. And now Casper's on this arm of the couch instead of the other arm of the couch. I don't know what's going on with these two. They're being very, very silly. Oh. Well, while we're waiting for that to load, I was going to mention that so we're in the Netherlands, and but somebody nearby in the neighborhood has decided to try and do like a trick-or-treating for kids. And so like put little notices in our mailboxes being like, hey, you want to participate? I was like, yeah, sure. So we'll get a poster to put in the window so the kids know that, yeah, they can come here and trick-or-treat. So I thought it would be fun to decorate the tree out front, you know, a little bit. So I made a little ghosty, crocheted a little ghost, and I want to put still, put a couple little eyes on him, and then some sort of a mouth on him, and then I'll make a chain or something to hang him, so then I can hang him from the tree, so then he can hang off in the tree. Won't that be fun? I got a couple of, I went ahead and bought some stuff online too to hang from the tree as well. So I think that'll be fun. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn that in, get our stuff. Sure. All right, I can come and do Paulo Proudfoot. I was going to show you which wall I clicked through, wasn't I? I'll tell you what, let's just do, we can do the missing hobbits, because that'll take us into every room. And I can go back over what I clicked on. You should just lay down, Casper. I don't know why you're so out of sorts. There's plenty of places to lay down, you know. Okay, so first I'm going to go in the attic. And for this, I went to the... Sorry, I got in the dark spot. I went to the bone pile that's there. And I have to actually go to the bone pile. There's no clicking through anything for that. Oh, your sister and your boyfriend just got back from the Netherlands. Nice. Did they have a good time? And Belgium. They went to a Soul Crusher Fest. Sounds like fun. Okay. Hopefully their souls were not crushed too hard. Okay, so then in here, I gotta go see a Hobbit, but when I was clicking on the thing, I stand on this table. I kind of basically stand like around where the potions are, because it's like, well, I guess it won't let me click on it, but it's like right there. So I stand in the middle of the potions to get that one. Also, if you have to get the trophies, you can stand here and get the trophy from this side of the wall too. But I gotta talk to this guy. The pictures are amazing. Oh yeah, awesome. It's been really nice weather in the Netherlands too, by the way. It got a little chilly, and honestly, it was raining this morning, but I mean, that's how it stays so green around here. It's insane how green it is, especially since I'm from Colorado where everything is brown. Okay, so you come in here. Colorado's beautiful, but nothing grows naturally, except for scrub and pointy, pokey things. The other one I got, yeah, to get the barrel, I also come here. I kind of stand on this chair. Yeah, probably the chair, and I'm able to get to the barrel from here. So yeah, give that a try. You see before you a soul-crushed hobbit. Oh yeah, there's no hobbits in this room. Her boyfriend's in a thrash band. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm thinking heavy, hard metal kind of thing, thrash metal. So, oh my gosh, I was watching Dimension 20, and like one of the characters, they're like, yeah, I'm into like hard metal and thrash metal and banging metal and like just every kind, just listing out all these different kinds of metal. It was really funny. Okay, so I'm back to these same hobbits, but I'm not scaring them. I'm finding them. ACDC is about as hard as you get. Very nice. That's some old school stuff. Love it. So yeah, so these same hobbits, and I'm just, they're not. I'm not scaring them. I'm saying, hey, exits this way. You can come out. Oops, I got stuck in that dark spot. There we go. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's that one. Oh, here, I'll show you guys real quick. If you're doing the stroll or the race through the Haunted Burrow, it's the same locations that you go for everything. So if we go, it's the same, and it's the same path. Okay, so we're gonna take this path. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go to the attic. We're gonna grab that attic trophy over here. And just leave. And then we're going to grab the next trophy in here. And this is another one where we can get it through the wall. We don't have to go into that side thing over here because it's on the other side. You can even see the sparkle. See how it's sparkling here? That's what you're after. And it's right on the other side of this wall. So you can just stand by these bookshelves here. And you can grab it. And then you can get caught by this spider. But aside from that, you can just, zoom your way right back out. All right, now we're in the creeping wing, and I need proof, which conveniently is right next to the door. So I can pop over here. And now I'm in the basement, and I need the proof from here. So we start to do this big old serpentine to get out of here, but you'll notice we got a sparkle over here, and that's where we grab our trophy from here. And head to that second door. And now we're ready to run back out and turn in, go back and see Poppy Cotton with our proof. And she's right here. So you can do this basically twice because one is the stroll and then the other one is the race, and it's the exact same thing. So, I'll just do that real quick. And then I'll come on with my other character because, yeah, we've got half an hour still. So I'll switch over to my other character here after I'm finished with this gal. And I'll show you the potions one. Let's see. Okay, so I need the attic trophy. Doom-ba-doom. And then through here. run over towards where that Hobbit is, but instead of going that way, I go this way by the bookshelf, and then back out. And over here, and then there's the trophy right next to the door. So now you have to get a little bit close, or if you end up like just doing the select and then use, you might end up hitting the door by mistake, which is kind of funny. That happens to me all the time. And then the last one is over here. I thought I saw a flash. And back over to the last one. And now we run out. So even though you've got like, what, 4 or 5 minutes for that, you can definitely get it done within the time. Once you kind of know where to find everything. Like I still have 2.5 minutes left on that. But that is 10 things. 10 festival quests. So I can keep going if I want more tokens, you know, want more fun in the festival, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this in. So this is my daily. So I've got, she's going to give me some ally experience and some fall festival tokens. Excellent. But that has now finished the bountiful harvest. So I can turn that in, which gives me the ally experience, the figments of splendor, 1,000 virtue experience. So that's fantastic. And because I finished that, that also then finishes the fortune of harvest spirit, which is what's going to give me that gold tracery token that I can just stick in my inventory and give that to any character on my account. So, yeah, so there's that. All right, so let me switch over to my other character and see if we can run through this without too much distraction. And because I can run through these in like, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. Now, Box of Nothing does point out, they say, I wouldn't worry about the timers. They're more than generous. They're more of a distraction than a limitation because you put undue pressure on yourself. I would agree with that, except for doing the, at Yule Festival, the eating at the tables, you really do have to pay attention to those timers because that one is a little, you know, little tight. Snafuto says, if anyone needs help going through the Haunted Burrow and you see me online, just shoot me a tell and I will lead you through to complete the quests. That's very kind of you. What server on was that, Snafuto? All right, so here's my other festival character that I'm doing on this server. So, again, I'm going to grab the Spirited Harvest. So we're ready to get going. And then I'm going to go to Wistmead because I like going there first. This is just a personal preference. I'm not saying it's like optimized for time. It's just that I really love going to Wistmead. Also, I dressed up my character for festival, so she's wearing the current outfit because I wanted to see what that looks like. I think it looks pretty good on a tall character. However, I will point out that I was looking at the UI skins in the JRR skins collection, and I had not noticed there's a new one, which is a Yule Festival one. So that's what I have down here at the bottom bar now. Isn't that so fun? I am like, I love it. So now when I log in with this character, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely my festival character because there's the Yule bar at the bottom. I'm like, so cool. Okay, so yeah, so if you're on Peregrine and you need some help, look for Snafuto online and they will help you out. Yeah, Box of Nothing says, yeah, you have to make sure that no one else is running the eating contest at the same time. I can still do it if there's one other person, but if there's a bunch of people, yeah, it's not gonna go well. Yeah, make sure you let others get at least 2 stations ahead. That's what I do, is I will let other folks get ahead of me, and then and I also wait till my timers are done from the first table before I pick up and move on to the second table. And of course, yes, avoiding pies and bread, that's important. Yes. Oh, Pamela says, after you're done with Wismead, can we see the outfit in the window, please? Yeah, it's a little dark in Wismead, isn't it? All right, so we're checking in with some spiritless hobbits. Hello, hello, hello. And you. And then I'm going to need to grab some cats. So let's go work on that because I feel like I've seen a few people running around. So cats are going to be... Cats seem to be the one thing that are the hardest to get. There's a lower supply and a higher demand. Okay, so we got that. And we're going to check the bushes over here. See if there's a cat. And indeed there is. Convenient. And then we'll go ahead and head over to here. Get the ghost of the ghost. And see the spiritless hobbit. And that cat is not there, and I think that person might be waiting. So we will run by the spider to work on the fog noggin. We're going to grab this cat over in this set of bushes. So that puts me at 3 cats, so I just need 1 more. So we'll take a look here. Nope. We'll take a look over here. I believe I see a cat right there. And that spiritless hobbit doesn't have a ring, so I have finished with those guys. I have done my fog noggin effects. They're all managed. So now we're booting some goblin gourds. Oh yeah, we want to make sure we look at that quest. And as mentioned, thank you. Not only does it give legendary item experience and fall festival tokens, but also 50 virtue experience. So you've actually got 2 places during this festival to get virtue experience. That's not always the case. Some festivals, there's only 1 option. So that's a nice little bonus. All right, Goblin Gourd. And back down this way. I just need 1 more. So we'll come in over here. Turn this one in. Go to Walrick. Turn that one in. And then I've got 2 from Halinard. Hey, buddy. So we'll turn those in. We've done all of our bingo quests. We have no bingo quests in Wismead to do. And now we head back to the party tree. The one thing I haven't been doing with my festival characters is my festival dedicated characters is switching their mounts for the festival yet. Not yet. Okay, so let's take a look at the outfit though. So, yeah, she's got, so the hat has like all these cobweb things going on, little bit hanging down, little Surrey with the fringe on top going. And then we've got a band that's low and then a band that's higher with the buckle for the hat and the cute little, you know, droop there. And then the main part of the body, it's got kind of like an underlayer and then it's got this over jacket for the cobwebs with, again, stripes, like fabric stripes on the top of the sleeve and then 2 around the elbow. And then I did go ahead and put the cape on her. So she's got the cape flowing in the wind there. And then they didn't have shoes that really went with it. So I am wearing some cosmetic boots that I grabbed. Boots of the Bright Company, because they kind of had the right look to it. Now, I will tell you that if you go to dye this, the only things that dye are those fabric strips. So, like looking at the cobweb robe and the cobweb hat here and everything. So, like at the robe, let's do the chest color. So, like if we do a dark green, oh, I guess the middle does too as well, sorry. So you get those fabric strips, and then the middle section will dye up. But yeah, so I've kind of just left mine as it is with that kind of dark navy or whatever going on. Like even if you do it white though, it still has like a gray look to it. Like there's no way to go completely cobweb white with the outfit, which I thought might be interesting to do, but yeah, it wasn't really going for that. Anyway, so that's that outfit. That's kind of fun, huh? I thought, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Is like, just dress up my festival dedicated characters in festival cosmetics, you know. And then oops, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hang on, let me put that back. Okay. Um, and then when I log in, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, this is a festival character. Plus, then I get to see all the festival stuff because I don't always dress up in it, so that's fun. Oh, Koviet says she's lovely. Well, thank you. One of the ones over on Mariatic that I'm festival running, she's a high elf, and I've got like the hair choice for her has got like all this fun stuff going on, and I feel kind of bummed that I can't see the hair like when they're wearing these hats, and so I was like trying to come up with different solutions for her outfit because I kind of wanted to not have her wearing a hat. I wanted to be able to see her hair. So she's definitely gone more, traditional elfy sort of thing. All right, so this guy isn't going for the chest. So I'm guessing he's not standing in line. He's probably somebody who's just logged out or is logging in, but he's not waiting on the chest, so we can go ahead and grab it. But you see how I paused there just to make sure. And that's the polite thing to do, is to make sure that you're not taking something from somebody. So here's the only mistake that I've made, is so I'm used to playing a Hobbit pretty much all the time these days. Like, I do like my high elves. They can jump and do fun tumbles and stuff, and I do like that. And I like the way they ride. But most of the time I'm playing a Hobbit. So I'm used to seeing the interiors as I'm running around from a certain perspective. And 3 out of the 4 characters that I chose as my festival runners are tall folk. I got 2 high elves, a Bjorning, and a Hobbit. So I'm like, so I may change it up in the future, but for now, this is working out, and it's kind of funny. All right, so I gotta scare 2 more hobbits. And then the other one is on the other side of there, but I think I can actually get to it from here. Yeah. So I could do that if I don't want to actually go into that space. I don't mind going over there. I think it's kind of fun to see the Hobbit, but it's also a time saver if I don't want to do that. So, all right. So now we're at 5. Yes, my reputation changed. Oh my goodness. Gasp, shock, horror. Actually, you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and do this one real quick. So I wanted to show you this one. This is the riddle one, and this is also a timed one. But the idea is that you can go in. This is one that takes you in a completely different direction than your average. So the idea is you can come in, you can read the clue, and it has a whole thing about, which bottle. It's a whole riddle. You can also pull up Festival Bunny 2, and it will tell you which one. So like go inside and use the white bottle. Now this one takes you down a different path. So let me show you this path. So this one I have to go straight, and now I'm at the inside where the next table is. And now it says go in the cobweb wing, use the blue bottle. So the first one of the times you should read through it because it's kind of fun. Okay, remember that whole area that I've been avoiding all this time? I have to go there. But at least I've got like this protection thing around me. And then the door that was straight ahead is where I go. And then I come in here and it tells me use the orange bottle. So I take a drink out of the orange bottle. And then again, this area that I've been avoiding going through here because it traps me and all that to get to that barrel that's there. Well, I do go past it. And now I have to go out this door. So this riddle takes you this riddle in a bottle quest. It takes you through doors that you don't go through any other time. So just be prepared for that. The first time I did it, and I was like, wait, where am I going? And it took me a few minutes to remember, to get the pathing down. But now it's just back to normal. Now we're just leaving the party tree as normal. Yeah, and then before has also pointed out that the shortcut for the bottles is center, center, left, center, which I have actually memorized for this this run through, so I haven't even been pulling up the Festival Bunny anymore. So I just wanted to show you guys that one. I know it went really fast, but I just wanted to show you that one because again, it takes you into different doors than you go through normally. Okay. So, I'm sorry, bud. We did him before. Well, he does give virtue experience, so let's go ahead and do that real quick, though. Because who doesn't like virtue experience? Although, I'm not sure if it matters on these characters. But we'll go ahead and grab the jar of crawlies. Kabam. And go over to the bone pile over here. And out this way. Hang on. Okay, and then go into the cobweb wing. Alright, yep. Oh yeah, we didn't do the whole bobbin for apples thing. I kind of forgot. I forget about that one. Anyway, I'm gonna go stand on this table and touch things through the wall. Just like that person. And I think the next one is the one that was a new one. So go over here, stand on the chair, click through the wall. Yeah, I'm standing on that chair. You can't really see from the angle, and I can't zoom out anymore. But yeah, there you go. I'm standing on that chair. All right, but now I'm going to leave, and we go over here. And now I got to touch the puddle, which is in this end of the line, and then I'll turn around and go out. Zoop. And through. And now we leave. So once you kind of get the pathing down in the haunted burrow, you can actually get through pretty quickly. I've also kind of been doing this half asleep, so I've kind of got it burrowed into my mind. Okay, so I still want to do the in league because I want to get those tokens. So we can go ahead and just do that. This one's pretty quick and easy too. The biggest downfall, I would say, of this one is that it gives you those drunk effects, and so your screen's going back and forth, even though I've turned off post-processing effects. So I don't get like the inability to see my screen. I've taken that away, but it still does shift my screen gently back and forth. So that's why, like, if I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to go use the restroom while I'm in the middle of festival questing. I'll do this one and then step away, go make a cup of tea, whatever, and then come back and let the effects wear off, because it wears off in like 5 minutes. Yeah. 4 minutes and 30 seconds I have left. So, well, the problem, and so before it says it's my 10th quest at the burrow, the problem is the effect lasts while you're logged out. So when you log in, you still have to wait for the effect to finish off. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, so I only have 2 quests left. So I'm going to do Puttyfoot, sorry. And I'll show you. So he has 3, and a lot of times I will do them in order. So we'll start with the first one, which is the rattling in the attic. So let's pop into the attic. And then, although, yeah, honey, it's possible because when you log in, maybe it takes you a minute to get to the next quest, and maybe it runs off by then. All right, so this one is another one of those where, it's rude to jump ahead of other people. So there's these cold chains here, and nobody else is waiting to do this, so I'll go ahead and do it. And this little hobbit comes out, and so you click on him, and he's like, aha, I'm gonna hunt you, whatever. If you're a high-level character at all, like above 20, you can just go on auto attack, and it takes care of that guy. But he wasn't actually a scary ghost. He was actually just a hobbit playing a trick. And so now we've got him back, and he's like, well, but I was just playing a trick. You're like, well, don't scare people, man. All right, so we'll go back over here and turn that into him. So let's see. Pamela says, does the jig from the in-league still allow you to share them between characters on the same account and server? I believe it does. Now, you can only buy it if you don't have it. So you'd have to buy it on a character you don't have it. I did that with somebody where I think I might have learned this from you. went and bought like 5 of them on a character who had access to the in league but didn't have the jig emote yet. Went and bought like 5 of them so that I could give them to my other characters. So yeah, before it says I see his name is Polo or Chicken. Yeah, I can totally get that. Polo Polo. Okay, so for the second one, the Roaring Maw. So I'll show you all 3 of these real quick. So we go in, and again, it's like I'm going through the thing, but I don't have to actually go to the attic. I can go straight into here. So I'm going to do that. And now I'm going to go somewhere in here that I don't generally go. Maybe that is why they named him Polo, because, you know, he's kind of scared. He's kind of chicken. And then I go make a U-turn, and there's that wall that I don't want to deal with. But there's a jar of honey lying on the ground here. Nobody else is waiting to do this, so I'm good to go ahead and get in line and do it. So a little bear comes out, and he's like, ha ha, I'm going to get you. And you're like, wow. He's like, I'm just a hobbit. So now what you could do is you could, you know, go out and run through the whole place like normal. But you have a exit the haunted burrow skill. And so you can click on that, and it's a return to skill. So it, you know, has a cooldown of like an hour by default, but I'm only using it once. And it takes you out of the burrow. You don't like fail your quest or anything. It just is an instant teleport out of there. So now I can turn that in. Oh, hey, there's the outfit on a dwarf if you were curious. So I think it looks good on the tall folk. I think it's a long, stretchy kind. Okay, and then I go back and do the last one, which is the whaling. Although at this point I have 10 quests, so I usually only do 2 of those, 2 of his. But I'll show you real quick. So when I come in, and again, it's like I'm going to the attic, and I turn, but I don't go through the bookcase. There's a door right here. And this is a shortcut to the creeping wing, which is where I want to be to do this last one. So again, I do turn, end up in an area where I don't normally go to. There's a candle. Click on the candle. And, ooh, be frightened. But, oh, golly gosh, it's just a hobbit. What a shock. Pomela says, the dwarves are the handsomest of the races. Are you playing a dwarf these days? Let's see. B4 says, if someone is doing it when you arrive, select the bear hobbit so you can see just when they despawn. Oh, that's a good point. Because like if the honey jar is sitting there, it'll continue to be sitting there and you can click on it over and over and over again and nothing will happen if the bear, in that case, is still nearby, if he's still there. So once he despawns, then you're able to click on it and have him appear. So, all right, so that takes care of that and done. Now, another thing you could do while you're hanging around here, you see people standing around, oh, they're twins, is you can use up some of those things that you've received recently. So I've got another candle and mirror. I've got cover it all. Yeah, so we've got those still. Oh, there goes the Huorn. That's the new pet. Little pumpkin with arms and legs. But yeah, so I finished my 10 with her. Oh yeah, did you see she's a little tumble? I love the tumble. So again, we're going to get the same thing because that's the end of, I've done the wrapper enough times to finish my daily, which finishes my bountiful harvest. So I'm getting the virtue and all the other stuff, which then finishes the fortune of harvest, which gives me that gold tracery token that I can give to another character on my account. And there we go. So that is kind of how I run through a quick 10. You know, you can do whatever makes you happy. Before does, I think, his whole 10 at the burrow. Hey, speaking of, hello. I take it you are about ready then.
In case you want to do something about your inventory.
Sure. before saw my inventory and is offering to give me a hand here. So hang on a second. It's so painful. There's a lot. There's a lot. Is there anything else I can actually give you? Oh, that I can give you. That one. Yeah, okay. Thanks. I think most of the rest of this is perhaps bound. Yeah. Do you want to fix your inventory? I mean, in general, yes. Thanks. Yeah, you should, Pamela. You should. That'd be fun. Playing a dwarf. I do enjoy the dwarves. I find I have this kind of headcanon that my girls over on Mary, so Ada and Rosenblum, that they're both like they think of dwarves as being a little exotic and tall. They think of them as tall. So I mean, like there's other tall people, but they don't count because they're just like we don't talk to them like they're elves and stuff. Like well, that's weird. Who are they? What are they? We've heard of them. We may have seen one or two. Dwaro curious, exactly, exactly. Um. All right, so you about ready? Okay. Cool. So anyway, so that is two characters run through the festival, hopefully with a little bit of enough information on like all the details on how to get through the festival, where to find things, all that sort of stuff. Now, oh, by the way, if you have a farmer character and you talked to, let me go over to her. If you talk to Amabel here, Redfern, the previous festival, the Farmer's Fair, then she had you do a quest where you planted some mushrooms. And if you come back to her during this festival, she'll give you a quest where you go in and you harvest some mushrooms. And that gives you, and then she gives you a housing item with some cute little mushrooms in it. So that is a lovely little thing. So make sure you take advantage of that. A couple other things real quick. If you haven't done the in league initiation, or if you want to do it again, you've got oh yeah, Alaward Chubb is here, and it gives you legendary item experience at the end of it. But this is a long route; you have to go around the Shire quite a ways. Yeah, it gives you in league experience too, I believe, at the end. So you get some LI experience, you get some in league experience and stuff like that. And if you're not a member, you can go directly to him to be initiated. If you want to join the Ale Association, you have to go to Thorin's Hall first, talk to somebody there who says, "Hey, go start the initiation in Bree at the Prancing Pony." So it's a little extra step to do the Ale Association initiation. And then you do a little run around Bree and Combe and stuff. But once you've done that, then you can do all of the Ale Association and then all of the in-league quests, which then, like, for example, opens up that guy there for Ale Association and what's her name over there for the in-league. Yeah, I forget about these. The four main festival areas. So here, Thorns Hall, Breland Festival Grounds, and the Dwarven spot, or sorry, not Dwarven, Elven spot, which would be, in this case, it's not Caledon, it's Doolin. It's the one that's further north. They have a thing where there's, things there you can click on it and you receive something out of there, which will be one of, oops, wrong thing, hang on. Let me barter with this guy. It'll be one of 3 levels, so basically like small, medium, or large, which you then can turn in. So I got a small apple. I can turn that in for 1 Fall Festival token. Previously, I got 1 large apple, which I can turn in for 3 festival tokens. Oh yeah, I gotta click on it. And if I had one medium apple, I could turn that in for 2 festival tokens. And so they have the same thing with the dwarves. It's like a okay geode, a really nice geode, or a fantastic geode. Those aren't the right words, but something like that. With the elves, it's like a scroll, and in Bree, I think it's a pumpkin because you're in a pumpkin patch. Yeah, Paul Mella says, honestly, if I were a hobbit, I would find them exotic too. Always so finely dressed with their gems and fine clothing. I don't know about fine clothing. Like armor, I don't necessarily think of armor as fine clothing, but it does suit them. You know, I mean, it does look good on a dwarf. So, I like it though when they dress in other clothes when they're hanging out in the Shire. But yeah, I think that is it. It's kind of like they're just like the little exotic. Anyway, so yeah, so don't forget to do that. That's just free. That's not a quest or anything like that. It's just more tokens. Um, oh yeah, and then Baldo's got his normal like go to the horse races just as a reminder, and they do count towards festival stuff. So that's useful if you are struggling to get festival quests in for some reason, or if you just happen to be there, you want more tokens, any of that stuff. Those are yet more ways to get some festival quests out of the way. So yeah. All right. Well, I think I am gonna wrap it up here. Thanks everybody for coming along and doing festival with me over here, and I'm glad I was able to just happen to coordinate it so that I was able to finish on 2 characters, so you kind of got to see the wrap up of that as well. Stick around because B4 is coming up next, and he will be doing his stream called Plugging Along, but he's going to do some festival stuff first, so you won't miss out on stuff there. And he's going to do, there were a couple of things you're going to do now. I forgot what they were.
Festival and then the Fateful Toolkit.
Oh yeah, he's doing some festival stuff. He's going to show you the mazes, I believe, and then yeah, he's going to do some stuff with Fateful Toolkit stuff. So thank you everybody. It was great seeing some faces I haven't seen in a while, so that was lovely as well. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and I'll see you over on B4 stream. So just stick around right here, and he'll be up soon. All right, bye everybody.